Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of PokeBI. My name is Jake, and in this video, we're going to go over Hidden Fates, a monthly recap. Now, I hadn't ran the Hidden Fates data since October 19th, so I just figured since I was late anyway, might as well wrap it up in the total month of October recap video. And yeah, let's go right into it. First off, we're going to look at Charizard. Now, for those who don't know, Hidden Fates was given a reprint back September 25th, and throughout the month since then, there's been just a steady resupply of Hidden Fates tins, and also the boxes with the jumbo cards in them. On Walmart, Target, Best Buy, there's about like 50 to 150 units at least of each tin that get released that I see people buying up. So that plays into a factor of the supply and demand. You know, if the supply increases, demand usually decreases. That would be the normal school of thought. But with demand being so high for Pokemon right now, the few, like, in the grand scheme of things, if there's only, let's say, 300 of each one being released between all the websites daily, that's really not many tins in the big picture, you know? Um, the big telling factor is going to be how much of a reprint there's going to be in January, because there was a January reprint announcement earlier this month. So it's going to be super interesting to see how these prices get affected. One of the big things that I forgot who it was that said it, but they said it really well. The thing with PSA is that it's not like they release all their cards that have been graded to everybody at once. It's not like every 3 months they just ship everybody's cards out. It's a slow drip. My cards are going to come back in probably early 2021. As somebody who just sent in their card a couple weeks ago is probably going to be February or March. I'm going to be in January. So as people are just getting their cards back very, very slowly, and it's not like all at once. So because of that, the cards that I'm going to get back, some of them are going to get listed on eBay, and the demand is going to be there that they're going to sell quickly, and there's not going to be necessarily a flooding of cards. If you watch like Z&G Emporium's graded gem videos where he shows off the cards people are sending in to get graded through his middleman service, you're going to notice a lot of those cards are Hidden Fates cards. A lot of them are the Shiny Vault cards. If you go onto PSA's Pop Report, the amount of Shiny Vault cards is astronomical, but the prices are still stable. The prices, for the most part, haven't really dropped significantly, even with reprints being announced, even with tons of people submitting to PSA. Because at the end of the day, there's so few actual cards being listed compared to so many people who want those cards. Even with the reprint, the demand still outweighs the small increase of supply. So let's see, Mr. Charizard GX started at 1487 this month, ends at 1488. Look at that, didn't do a single thing. Had a couple low points in the beginning, a couple high points at the end of the month, but for the most part, it is exactly where it left off, which that's honestly a best case scenario for a card that is still in circulation, a card that's still being opened up, a card that's still getting pulled, and a card that is getting a lot of them copies being graded. When I first started doing these videos a couple months back, I actually went and looked at the pop report for the Shiny Vault cards, and when I was looking, I noticed that Charizard had, at the time, this was like, again, 2 months ago, 3 months ago maybe, at the time it had 1,200 copies. Um, and I'm pulling up right now the PSA pop report. Let's see, 2016. Oh, 28 pages. No, no, no. Shiny Vault. How about that? 2016, 2017, Black Star promos. Where is Hidden Fates? How about that? Shining Legends, Hidden Fates. 32,000 cards have been graded. That's wild. So if I type here Charizard, right there, SV49 is the bad boy. Look at that, 1,500. So last time I talked about the population of this card, it was at like 1,400 solid, and the first time I looked, it was at 1,200, maybe 1,300. So look at just how many in that short amount of time. In just a few months, there was another couple hundred, 300 of them being graded, and even then, even with another 300 of them being sold, prices is still stabilized. If I go over here to this tab that I made that shows the quantity being sold, let me switch over to just Mr. Charizard. Right here, 318. Since I started running this data and it's grabbing everything from April, 318 have been sold. And if I put a filter on this page that says only in the last month, we're gonna see in just the last month 66 have sold. 66 PSA 10 Charizards. That's 2 a day essentially. We're getting 2 a day of this card, and it still has retained its value for the past month. It's I think it's a great sign of things to come with Hidden Fates. If it's retaining its value so well, and there are still more reprints ahead, not just in the past, not just present, but in the future, we know already there are confirmed reprints, and the prices haven't dropped, like just with those announcements, then I think the long term of this set is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so we're going to get out of there. And let's start off with the baby shinies. Because this is a monthly recap video, I do want to go through everything, pretty much. And let's see, Charmeleon. I just want to see what happened with the value of this card, just because something it's screaming to me that it's like a lot, like a set of cards. No. Wow. PSA 10 Charmeleon by itself, $350. The seller has a good amount of review, feedback, things. Wow. So maybe this is the start of, what do you call it? Charmeleon's reckoning. You know? Let's see. Charmeleon. In just this month, only 17 have sold. And if I go over here and I only click on yep, look how few of them are being sold. So it's not really that surprising that the price jumped up so much. It's probably going to go down. It's probably going to go back down to like 300, but still, like, that's wild. $350 for a Charmeleon. What date is this? October 23rd. So this is not even right as Logan Paul's hype video of the Charizard, so you can't even attribute it to that. It's still wild. So I'm going to go through, wow, this is a lot of them. I'm going to go through really quickly, okay? What you can do at any point in these videos is pause right here, like pause, and you can see over here what has sold. So Alolan Vulpix, Altaria, Beldum, Buzzwole, Celesteela, Charmander, which Charmander I would have expected a much bigger increase, but interesting. Charmeleon, Dartrix, Diancie, Eevee, Froakie, Frogadier, Gabite, Garchomp, Gible, Guzzlord, Inkay, Kartana, Corellia, Lucario, Magnemite, Magneton, Magnezone, Malamar, Metang, Noibat, Oranguru, Pheromosa, Poipole, Quagsire, Ralts, Riolu, Rockruff, Rowlet, Scyther, Seviper, Shuppet, Sudowoodo, Swablu, Type Null, Voltorb, Wimpod, Whoopie Boy, Whooper. Then we got Xurkitree and Zorua. So those were the baby shinies. So yeah, at any point, if you want to go back and see what the prices were for something specifically, feel free to. Next up, we've got the eeveelutions, which, wow, it's going to take a few seconds for me to see what's going on over here. So first off, the thing that strikes me the most is Leafeon jumping up to 480. Let's see if that's a legitimate sale. I did go through a lot of these to make sure, to double check, but you know what? Things can slip by. Let's see what happened. No, that is see, I can't tell what is and what isn't a legitimate sale, but at the very least, it's not a like a best offer accepted. This somebody paid 480 for this. That's wild. Let's see if you can how much they sell for right now. $350 is the lowest listing. Let's see. $415. Oh, there's a 330 one. What did this sell for? 480. Yeah, that might have been just a one and done. Cause yeah, 330 is I think right now the lowest you can find it for. Grade is a 10. There, yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see what that auction ends at. This one right here. 7 days. Let's heart that. Let's see what's sold. $480. Oh, it's a best offer accepted. That's why. Okay. Same thing with this $399 and this $350. Yeah, that Leafeon isn't nearly as high as it looks. That's good. And I would assume the same thing over here with this Umbreon at $425. It's probably best offer accepted. I can't wait until the tools that I used to use for that comes back up. $425. This was what day? Sold. Huh. GMA. No, wow, this was not best offer accepted. This was a straight 425. Very cool. Okay, so Umbreon might be on the comeback. Okay, so one at a time, we'll go through them. Espeon, which is pretty much ended where it started. Glaceon, pretty much the same. Leafeon, we know, is around the 330 mark, so it should be a little bit lower than all these. We got Sylveon over here, and then Umbreon GX. So then next up afterwards, we got Legendaries. And first off, Articuno GX, and Darkrai GX, Ho GX, Mewtwo GX, Reshiram, and Zygarde. Mewtwo GX pretty much starting where it ending where it started. The one big winner over here, I'd say, is Mr. Darkrai GX. $30 increase, that's pretty good. But overall, majority of these guys, everybody's on an increase. That's what's really impressive, or for the most part. And we got others. And the same thing with the shiny, the baby shinies. I'm just gonna go through quickly through all these, and then you can pause at any point. So Alolan Ninetales, Altaria, which this should not be here. I'm almost certain this is. Let's see. Let's click on it. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be one. Yep, it says right here likely. I'm not even gonna click it. Let's remove you from the data. Exclude. And I'll be sure to remember to remove it. So we have Alolan Ninetales first. Altaria GX, Banette, Buzzwole, Drampa the Grandpa, Electrode, Gardevoir, Golisopod, which, hold on, go back to Electrode for a second. Huh, I could have sworn that I saw oh, it was probably in September's month. Electrode got all the way up to 150 at one point. Then we have Gardevoir, Golisopod, Lucario, Lycanroc, Noivern, Scizor, Silvally, and Turtonator. My favorite out of all these guys are the promos. Yes, let's take a look. First off, Lunala, Metagross GX. Metagross on a good increase from 91 to 165. That's one of the best performers, which is not really surprising considering these guys are promos that come in expensive sets that didn't get a reprint. Then we have Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos GX, which this is not surprising that it went all the way up here, and I believe this was the date, October 11th, or around the time that we had the Elite Trainer Box reprint announcement, that it was a thing. They sold out immediately, like the pre-orders are completely sold out, and you would be very lucky to find an Elite Trainer Box for less than $100, but because of that, now people are going to be opening them up and they're going to be submitting them to PSA, so not very surprising that the promo price went up and then stabilized back to where it used to be. Then we got Rayquaza GX chilling at a nice in-between, between 200 and 250. Solgaleo, and Zoroark GX, 91 to 89. Not the biggest of drops, but still about same as what it started. And then we have the starters, which really in all reality I should just remove Charizard from this, but whatever. So started off with let's go Decidueye, went from 100 to 99, literally no difference. And then 200 to 199, exactly same. Majority of these guys have either increased very slightly or they've completely stayed flat for the month. The Tapus, let's see. First off, what's interesting is, what's the other one? Tapu Bulu, Tapu Fini, Tapu Lele, and Tapu Koko. First off, there's no Tapu Koko sales at all in the month of October. So that's very interesting to see. Second, Tapu Fini went from 100 to 140. Tapu Bulu went from 159 back to 159. And then Tapu Lele GX went from 198 to 180. But look how few, only 10 total between all of them. Because each one of these points is a sale. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for Tapu Lele, 1, 2, 3 for Bulu, and then 1, 2, 3 for Fini. That's wild. Those are going to be very expensive in the future, I believe. Okay, we're going to go through. Aether Foundation employee went from 65 to 67. The conservation area went from 119 to 86. Cynthia, 151 to 155, so not really much of a difference. Fisherman, the same thing. Then Guzma went up a little bit. That's cool. Hiker did a little bit of an increase as well. Lady had one sale in the entire month of October. Mount Cornet, 115 to 100. And Shrine of Punishment from 120 to 129. And if you notice, not a single Brooklet Hill was sold in the month of October. That is going to be a very rare card in the future as well. Or rather, I believe, a very valuable card. Because it has one of the lowest populations in all of the Shiny Vault, non-Baby Shiny sets. So yeah. And then finally, we're going to look at the Ultra Beasts. First one, Guzzlord GX, only 3 sales, went from $100 to $43. Then we have Kartana going on a nice increase from 50 to 80. Naganadel went from 75 and dropped to $39.99. Let's see what happened here. $39.99. I would bet this is a one bid auction. Oh. Wrong stuff. Sorry about that. Oh. No, it was just to buy it now, it seems. Yep. Gem Min 10. Wow, somebody sniped it. That's awesome. So yeah, Naganadel had a little of a drop. Then we have Nihiligo, went from 41 to 79, which is quite impressive. Stack Attack Attack Attack. 69 to 75. And then Circuitry GX, 71 to 73. So unfilter that, release the data. Awesome. And yeah, let's just take a look at the quantities being sold of these guys. We had in changes. This is, I don't necessarily trust this information because I have a filter put on it. No, this I do though. Up here, these are the actual quantities being sold. So at any point you can pause the video and you can see how few or how many are being sold of the card you're interested in. And then let me release this data because I just want to see the changes in total. So we have, in the last 8 weeks, there were 13 sales. And in the last 4 weeks, there were 13 sales. Oh, gotcha, out of 26. So, yeah, sales are picking up for Altaria. Sales are picking up for Wimpod as well. Let's see, and which cards are slowing down the most? In the last 4 weeks, only one Oranguru has sold. That's pretty cool. Let's see, Hiker, only, yeah, look at all these. These are all the cards. Brooklet Hill right there, exactly. Last 4 weeks, only 3 were sold. Wait, but I didn't see any Brooklet Hills being sold over here. Oh. Let's take a look at something. September 27th. That was the last one. Yeah, because the data showed that there wasn't any sold. Very interesting on this, why this is showing that there were sales. We're gonna have to take a look at this. So, for the time being, let's ignore it. Still trying to get all the bugs out of this, but this I know is accurate, so. But yeah, other than that, this has been another monthly recap, and I honestly will say I'm feeling so much more hopeful now looking back at October than I was before the reprint in September. When the reprint got announced and September 25th rolled around, I was really worried about how many units of tins, boxes, all those stuff were going to be reprinted. And now, after seeing that going on for about 5-6 weeks, or yeah, about 6 weeks, it's very reassuring. It's even more so reassuring looking at the data that these graded cards aren't dropping in value, and it's either they've completely stagnated from what they started out to what it is now, for this month, or they've increased. There are very, very few cards that have decreased in value from the beginning of October till now. And the fact that nearly the entire Shiny Vault set as a whole has either flatlined or increased while supply is still coming in, to me is incredibly reassuring. Like I've said in the past, I'm collecting every single one of these cards. Every single one that you're looking at as a PSA 10, I'm trying to get. And this is as much a tool for me to see what my essentially future portfolio is going to look like, as well as a tool to help everybody else out. And it's really exciting. I really am excited by what I'm seeing in these numbers. So as always, like in my opinion, I think Hidden Fates is one of the best modern sets to buy. In no way is this investment advice. This is just my opinion on what I'm seeing in the data. But the data's looking good. The data's looking very, very nice. But yeah, that's about it. Wow, this was a longer video than the past few ones that I've done. I've tried to keep them pretty concise and short. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching. I love you guys all. I will see you guys in the next video, which should come out within the next couple days, which it's going to be a recap of Champion's Path for the past month. And then after that should be the Elite Trainer box for the past month. And then the evolutions from the 10th till now. Because I started gathering the information around the time Logan Paul did his video. So, yeah. You guys, I appreciate all of you guys. I really do appreciate all the views I'm getting and the 40-something subscribers. Like, that's awesome. I'm super excited about it. But yeah, till the next video. Thank you.